Well, hey, joining us now is Guillermo Mayol. He's the Chief Executive Officer over at Freight Company, and his goal is to make drivers' life easier. We talk about retention all the time, keeping drivers in. Well, a lot of drivers, they get stuck there waiting at the dock. They get stuck there waiting at the receiver. They get stuck waiting everywhere. Maybe they're at traffic light too long. I don't know, but he has
Hurry up and wait.
the ability to timestamp yourself. That's the app he's working on, give drivers the ability to have some accountability and keep you accountable. Guillermo, thank you for joining us on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Wild times. I noticed you nodding in agreement a little bit with some of the things Brian had to say just about truckers, using their voice and advocating for themselves.
It is such a pleasure to see people like Brian speaking out, right? Because I'm an advocate of, and a little bit biased because my father's a truck driver in the Port of New York and New Jersey and the region, best friend, same thing. And they actually do have a voice, but some people don't get to see it in some of the social media platforms or any type of media. So it's so important to, and my team and I have decided, hey, we have to give these people and these drivers, men and women, a voice, because during COVID, they were the ones out there. My father was out there, and my friend was out there. My fleet was out there at that time. And it's so important to understand that side, that story, because it is a very critical and important story to our country and supply chain in general. They're the asset bases that move everything we need in the supply chain link. So I am so glad they're standing up and doing what they're doing.
Well, you're so right, too. I mean, the hashtag was thank a trucker or not thank a trucker, now shut up. And maybe one of the ways that we can thank truckers for being frontline workers during this entire pandemic is listening to their thoughts 2 years into this pandemic when they worked through it the entire time. I think
they may have something important to say. They may have a perspective on this.
Now, we already know a little bit about you because you told us you are the son of a truck driver and you are making this app. Tell us a little bit about it. What's the elevator pitch on this freight app?
Okay, so the goal here is to really bring to life, not just on social media, but creating our own social media that works for the truck driver to really tell the story like, hey, I'm here 7 hours, and sometimes they're not getting paid for it. And also showing the evidence. So it's not just a social media where it doesn't work for you, where you get to chat. It's a social media that actually collects data and then brings it where it's a process where drivers can see what's going to happen in the future and forecast the wait time they're expecting to see or not, and be able to discuss with their terminal, hopefully that, hey, we're going to be there for 7 hours or warehouse 3 hours. And this way, the warehouses can also adapt to that and make sure that the reviews are time-based so that we can see, hey, they're getting better, they're getting slower, and really get to communicate the feel that a driver at a warehouse, at a terminal, it's the customer, being human again, and really have that special touch where they can instant message a warehouse, hey, I've arrived, instant message a terminal if there's an issue. So really opening the whole supply chain, starting with truck drivers, right? Because they're highly neglected. But this is where they're going to be able to empower themselves and really show facts. Hey, I've been here this much. This is my timeline. This is what I've done. My engine's been running. I've been wasting fuel. So this is the stuff that really my team and I have really developed to really capture their voices, right? So hopefully this is the end. The end goal is to make sure supply chain works together and gets to communicate properly so that their values, because everyone's different, is actually brought to life as well.
So how do they communicate properly? How does the app verify wait times? Because that's like the biggest opening concept of it, verifying the wait times. So how does that all work within the network?
Okay, so let's say, for example, if a driver uses or has his application working in the background, when they enter into a terminal or a warehouse that's already in our platform, it'll automatically calculate. But let's say a warehouse communicates with them via the app and say, hey, wait at this truck stop or another yard. They actually can add that to their wait time so that they can actually communicate through the platform, share through text, through PDF, through email, and say, hey, I'm here, I've arrived. Or, hey, this is how long I've waited. Here are the facts, right? It's not just by signed PODs that some people don't want to sign bill of ladings, but this way, the bill of lading will be time-stamped. So yeah, the app is very, very versatile when it comes to working in the background. and a driver can manually start a wait time, kind of like how Nike tracks its runners. This way, our app, the Freight app, will track the drivers and then show what they've done, how long they've been waiting, and really give them that capability of the automation side and the manual side, so they can do both.
So I get the one-on-one communication here in the data and what's going on there. Is the aggregated data, whether it be anonymous or not, then also used for planning of other parties?
Yeah. So the goal is to evolve where other parties can come together and receive this data. So, for example, a trucking company that really wants to change their way of doing services, the app will eventually help them do that. But it all starts with information, right? It all starts with, hey, what to expect? How long should a driver be waiting at a terminal? So, again, I'm talking about the trades side, and both dry van warehousing side. So it'll evolve to other niche markets in the supply chain. So, for example, let's say the waiting time at a warehouse. The goal of the app and the whole network will be eventually to tell you, the warehouse owner, we need more manpower, we need more automation, or more hours of service. We need to open up more hours because drivers are arriving at 7 p.m. So now this way it'll communicate with both sides, right? And then help the warehouse develop so that we can all move as fast as Amazon. So that's basically the goal of the app, to basically organize information so that everyone can take a clear use of that information and adapt to the market. Especially in California, we're seeing those huge delays. They're offering Government has stepped in to offer some ideas. They're not working, even throwing out some maybe some benefits for the driver for late services. But this way, I think the app is going to be factual and say, hey, this is not just one-sided. This is not based on the union information, terminal information. This is based on truck driver information, and that is there live at that moment.
Yeah, so density of data is.
Well, have you heard it? Like, have you heard what Domino's is doing? So Domino's, they don't have enough drivers, so they'll tip you $3 if you go pick up your own pizza.
Really?
Right, yeah. Maybe some of these reverse benefits are. So, like, the ports look to being punitive, right? With this, like, $100 dwell fee, the escalating dwell fee that they keep kicking to the corner to.
Yeah.
What about doing the opposite? What about starting at a certain amount, you pick it up early, you get 10,000 and it goes down from there. Take the money out of the stack.
Hey, let me know next time you order pizza. I'll go get it for you.
I don't know. So before we let you go, so you said your dad's a trucker. What has his feedback been on the app? He's got to be your power user.
He is one of our power users. He's awesome because the app is multi-language. So he's there chatting and talking to other drivers and literally saying, hey, this is chaotic. Don't come here, right? But that's not the goal of the app. The app is basically to let people know what's going on, right? But they use their own voices, which is awesome. Like Brian did. Brian has that passion, and I know truck drivers have that passion no matter what language we speak. This app will bring us together based on the data it collects and the data it will supply so many terminals, warehouses, truck stops, so that they can adapt to the driver and how everything works. And organizing supply chain, eventually, that's the goal. And we hope that we will accomplish that.
Nice. And hey, guess what? They can download that right now. Look up Freight app on the iOS store or in the Google Android store, and you can get yourself checking this thing out. Hey, best of luck with that. Update us in the future on how things are going, and have a great week. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Guillermo.
Will do. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one, gentlemen. Bye-bye.
You too.